We're in Ben Tre, heading out on a sampan to our boat where we'll be cruising for the next couple of days, the Mekong Delta. The Mekong Delta is located in the southwestern portion of Vietnam and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's a huge area that covers over 15,600 square miles of southwestern Vietnam, and it encompasses about 12 provinces. The Mekong is also known as the 9 rivers by locals because there are about 9 different tributaries. The main river actually flows down through China and then through Cambodia and splits at Phnom Penh into what the Vietnamese call the upper arm and the lower arm. We are currently sailing on the upper arm. Further downriver, the upper arm splits into 6 other tributaries and the lower arm splits into 3 other ones, making 9 in total. This is one of the luscious regions in Vietnam, both agriculturally as well as ecologically. The delta supports over 1,000 wildlife species and is the 3rd largest contributor to Vietnam's economy, with products such as fish, naturally, and rice. Our original boat, the Mekong Eyes Classic, was not available for today, so we're going to switch over to that boat tomorrow and spend one night there. Tonight, we get the pleasure of being on the Mekong Explorer, which is a regular riverboat. Let's take a quick tour and see what it's all about. This isn't a huge boat. There's probably about 16 cabins in here, enough for about 32 people. As you enter from the store, shoes must be taken off and stored here. There are flip-flops to wear on board if you choose. Down this hallway are the majority of the cabins. We're now at the fore of the boat, and you've got the captain up there, climbing up. This is the common area for guests to enjoy. There's an outdoor deck with loungers. Going up the stairs is a sun deck. It's nice, but the floors are really hot, a sacrifice for the terrific views. This is the indoor dining area. The accordion doors can be opened in the breeze or closed for air conditioning inside. In through here is the kitchen and bar. And this is the hall down to the suites, including our 2 rooms. Voila and voila. It's huge and quite comfortable. There's a little window seat with a fantastic view. The ensuite bathroom is really nice for a riverboat. It's even got a rain shower head. And then out here is a little balcony with another fantastic view. Our kids have the suite right next door. Their room is a double instead. They've also got the same window seat, same nice bathroom, and adjoining balcony. And that's us, right next door. One of the Delta's main industries is construction. We pass by a ton of barges transporting sand dredged from the river floor and see large kilns on the shore that transform the sand into building bricks. Hear that? Somebody's singing karaoke and I can hear it straight across the water. We are famished and it's time for lunch. To start is the papaya salad or goi dudu with fish balls covered in popped young green rice. Fried spring rolls or cha zo is a perennial favorite. Ca koto is a popular southern Vietnamese clay pot dish where fish is cooked in fish sauce until caramelized. And for dessert is a banana ice cream sprinkled with peanuts. And banana ice cream is a little different. It tasted more like a ice than ice cream and definitely had flavors of coconut and peanut in it. Overall, quite satisfying. We're gonna go now for a quick walk in one of the rural villages. We're now walking in a village called Ganyam, and it's pretty small, about 1,000 people. Got a little bit of downpour here. They're just taking shelter under the awning over here. Luckily, tropical showers pass quickly and we continue. The main product here is coconuts, and they are grown in these palm trees. It takes about 5 years for the coconut to fully mature, which is a long time before harvesting. This is a water coconut, or formerly the nipa palm, which is a relative to the common coconut. The fruit tends towards soft and jelly-like, and it also has juice or water which can be drunk. This is jackfruit, the less smelly relative of durian. And back there with the flowers is ginger. You usually eat the ginger root, but the leaves also smell fantastic. A little bit of sugarcane here. This is lemongrass growing here. Guys, we got pomelo in there. Here's tapioca. By the roadside is a farmer's produce stand. They have the more common pineapple and papaya, bitter melon, aubergine here, bamboo shoots. This is a coyote squash we had earlier. Rambutan over here, passion fruit, and some pomegranates over here. Dragon fruit. All throughout the village, we saw these fighting cocks in cages, even though cockfighting is illegal. This is a typical Vietnamese house. Generally, there's one great room with huge doors to air it out. Because of the humid tropical weather, it's all tiled. Many homes depend on rainwater that is captured and stored in these huge jars. And there's always an ancestral shrine for worship. The one village temple is Kodai, which is a homespun religion started in 1926 and is a mix of all the world's major religions, which can be summed up in their symbol. This is the third most popular religion in Vietnam. We've stopped quickly at a local house to just have some fruit and check it out. Many families have a pond for keeping live fish for cooking. You can see one over there swimming around. This family also keeps guppies. Many families also breed pythons for commercial use. After a quick fruit and tea break, we head back to the dock. We get there just as the local ferry arrives to pick up passengers. Scooters are driven right up the ramp onto the boat and off they go. Time to head back to our boat. After a full day, time for a little R&R. In the morning, we wake and grab a healthy breakfast before heading out to see the famous Cai Rang Floating Market. I love and miss these tropical fruits. There's white flesh dragon fruit, sweet rambutan, which is like fleshier lychee, and the more familiar watermelon and pineapple. We're now pulling into the city of Kanta, and from here we're going to take a 15-minute sampan ride to the floating markets of Cai Rang. Kanta is a bustling city of 1.2 million and is an important economic center. We have to take a motorized sampan as Cai Rang is a smaller village about 6 kilometers downriver. The main attraction is its world-famous floating market. As soon as you pull up, you're immediately hit with entrepreneurial vendors selling beverages and refreshments. These guys provide an important service to boat farmers who anchor here for weeks, living on the water until their harvest is all sold. Mostly fruits and vegetables are being sold wholesale to restaurants and distributors for village markets. The product is advertised hung on long poles high above the boats, and each boat is filled to overflow with product. They have pineapples, coconuts, sweet potatoes, tapioca, and watermelon. Traders pull alongside and tie their boats together to negotiate and transfer goods. Even some of the tourists pulled up and climbed on board to sample fruits right there. How they make rice noodles. Rice sheets and noodles are one of Kanta's major exports. It starts by mashing cooked rice and tapioca in a masher like this until it forms a slurry. That's a fresh tapioca right there that she just cut up. The slurry is poured onto a crepe griddle that is ingeniously heated by burning rice husks. Gotta use every part of the plant. The cooked crepe is laid onto bamboo mats for drying, which also imparts a woven bamboo pattern on them. To make noodles, the sheets are run through a noodle cutter. In here, you can buy all of their products. The rice sheets even come in beetroot and shrimp flavor. I bought one of these. They took the rice needles and they deep fry it into like a cake or pizza like this. And then the top has got like coriander and a couple of like spices and stuff. Looks good. To end the day, we visit a popular locals market in Kanta. This is one of the largest in the city, and there were not only plenty of families shopping here, but tourists as well. Variety of Vietnamese herbs here. It's usually what they're put into pho and use with some of the wraps. This is water spinach or morning glory, also called kong chin cai in Chinese. These are sliced banana blossoms and morning glory, used as herbs in salads, wraps, and soups. The wet side of the market is fantastic with its immense assortment of fresh fish straight from the river. Clams, crabs, frog legs, and eels. Everything is skinned and scaled for you so it's ready to cook when you get home. There's a section of meats as well, from poultry like chickens and ducks to pork, like these skinned pork heads, which can be eaten barbecued as head cheese or stewed as a soup base. There's a variety of eggs, both fresh and pickled, and other tasty pickled veggies and seafood. It's a one-stop shop with other dried goods, including lots of rice sheets and noodles. When the locals are done shopping, they take a quick lunch break over a fresh bowl of noodles. Regardless of where you go, an iPad and a bag of chips are ubiquitous. The market flows outside with smaller, more temporary vendors setting up on a simple tarp.
In the US, our families used to buying huge bags like this and storing it and using it up over a couple of weeks. Here, they buy it by the kilogram and store very small quantities. I'm assuming it's because the rice will go bad in this wet climate otherwise.
Behind the wet market is a building with merchandise like household goods, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, and clothing. It's a total warren of small stores, half of them not yet open.
Back to the boat.
As we head back, we get hit by another tropical shower storm. We'll be switching boats now to a classic Vietnamese junk. Let's do a quick tour of this boat. The Mekong Eyes is a traditional all-wood boat painted with red eyes to scare off the crocodiles that used to be abundant in this region. Climbing up to the foredeck is a sun area. It's got a fantastic view. From here is another sun deck with loungers that will be set up once we get underway. The wood is super hot, so I don't think I'll be lying out much. Coming down, we head into the interior. Shoes off, please. Past the lounge, we head back into the passenger cabins. We are room 209, and voila! It's a little bit smaller than our previous room, but it is an older ship. It's got AC, which is great. Nice amenities here by the bedside, water bottles, cups down there, and slippers if you need them. There are large picture windows and a balcony out back. It's a bit noisy and smelly with diesel fumes, but really quite quaint. There's a modern bathroom, but this one's a bit older and showing some wear and tear. From the lounge area descending into the belly of the ship is the main dining area and a really cute bar where Mike is chatting with Lee, our purser. Back this way is the kitchen and crew quarters, off limits to guests. In the other direction are more guest cabins, but not set up as we're in low season. Today we're going to do the cooking class, and we're making banh khot, which are little rice flour cakes that are in like a little tiny cup shape, and there's a little shrimp in the middle. Should be delicious. So we're going to watch the demo and then do it ourselves. We start by making the banh khot batter. Add turmeric to a prepackaged mixture of rice flour and tapioca starch. Add water and stir well. Then add salt, pepper, chopped scallion, an egg, and stir again. Add a bit of coconut milk to thin out. It should have the consistency of pancake batter. Next, the filling. The chef starts by flavoring the oil with garlic, then stir-frying chopped shrimp and carrots. For the batter, we use a special molded pan oiled with a scallion baton. Each mold is filled halfway with batter, then filling added to the center. Cook through and check the center for doneness. Okay, my turn to take a stab at cooking banh khot. Banh khot are eaten wrapped in a rice sheet with herbs. Yum, delicious. Although I'm stuffed, I can't wait to dig into dinner, which is a traditional whole fried tilapia abundant in the Mekong. This is a popular and showy dish you'll get on most cruises. Our server expertly debones it and shows us how to wrap it in rice paper with rice noodles and fresh herbs. To eat, dip it in some fish sauce. For dessert, there's a delicious passion fruit panna cotta. The next morning, we deboard. Goodbye, Classic. While it's still cool, we take a quiet sampan ride through a water village. These farmers who row tourists part-time show us the backwaterways of their community and give us a taste of what their rural life is like. After about 20 minutes, we're back on the larger boat and headed to our next excursion. A quick pit stop at a candy-making factory, back here, to learn how they make coconut candy. In this working factory, they start first by breaking the coconut. The coconut flesh is scraped out and strained for coconut cream. This is mixed over heat with malt syrup and sugar. The soft candy is molded into long ropes, which are then cut into bite-sized pieces that are rolled into thin rice paper to prevent stickiness. The finished candy is hand-wrapped and packaged for sale. This factory also makes pop rice, taken by popping raw rice in hot sand, then sifting the finished kernels out. A second sift gets rid of the rice husks. We sample some of their candies and pop rice cakes with some tea. The teapot is kept in an inventive coconut exocarp pot warmer, and the Vietnamese usually add lime juice and some home-harvested honey. We're gonna go on a quick bike ride now around Cai Be. To finish off our trip, we're gonna do some exploring before taking a bus back to Saigon. The ride is exhilarating but scary. We keep to small roads but squeeze by scooters and pedestrians. It's only a half-hour bike ride, and soon we're back at the dock. Back at the sampan, and we're gonna load our bikes and get ready to leave the Mekong Delta. Quick pit stop here for lunch. That's it for our trip to the Mekong Delta. Thanks for joining and hope you'll join me on my next adventure. Until next time, peace.